Your mind is a garden, a fertile field constantly receiving seeds, whether you are aware of it or not. Every thought you think, every image you contemplate, every feeling you nourish is a seed being planted in this invisible soil. Some people tend their mental gardens with care and intention, choosing to plant seeds of faith, love, abundance, and joy. Others, unaware of the tremendous creative power within them, scatter seeds of fear, doubt, resentment, and limitation, and then wonder why the fruits of life are bitter and tangled with thorns. The subconscious mind is the silent soil, ever receptive, never questioning the nature of the seeds it receives. It does not discriminate between what is good or bad, desirable or undesirable. It takes the seeds you offer, nurtures them with the nourishment of feeling, waters them with repetition, and in due time brings them to harvest. If you sow seeds of harmony, health, success, and peace, you will surely reap those fruits in your outer world. If you sow seeds of fear, frustration, envy, and defeat, the subconscious, loyal to its nature, will bring those seeds into expression as well. Focus is the seed. The quality of your attention determines the quality of the seed you are planting. When you dwell lovingly and persistently on a thought of abundance, you are sowing a seed of prosperity. When you concentrate with faith on ideas of perfect health, you are planting a seed that will eventually flower into bodily vitality. If your focus wavers, if you allow it to be pulled back into the weeds of worry and complaint, you are scattering seeds of confusion and mixed results. The soil will not sort them for you. It will grow whatever is planted with feeling and repetition. Just as a skilled gardener selects only the finest seeds for planting, so must you become selective with the thoughts you entertain and the images you allow to take root. You would not, in your backyard, plant seeds of poison ivy alongside roses, nor would you expect a harvest of nourishing fruits if you sowed weeds without care. In the same way, you cannot expect a life of joy, success, and fulfillment if you allow seeds of fear, anger, and limitation to occupy your mind unchecked. It is a law, unfailing, unalterable, that as you sow in consciousness, so shall you reap in experience. The gardener knows that the soil cannot be rushed. Seasons must unfold in their perfect time. So it is with the garden of your mind. Some seeds sprout quickly and bear fruit almost immediately. Others take longer, requiring greater faith, greater persistence, greater patience. The wise gardener does not despair when the seed remains hidden beneath the soil. She trusts the unseen processes at work. She waters the ground daily. She pulls out the weeds that threaten to choke the tender shoots. She holds the image of the harvest in her heart long before it is visible to her eyes. So must you, in the tending of your inner garden, trust the power of the seeds you have planted through focused attention. Focus is not a fleeting glance. It is the steady gaze of the soul upon the desired good. It is the repeated affirmation, the daily nurturing of the thought seed, the emotional fertilization of the vision with gratitude, faith, and expectancy. Each time you return to your focus lovingly, you strengthen the root system of your desired outcome. Each time you dwell in fear or doubt, you weaken it, or worse, you nourish a different seed entirely. The gardener must also be vigilant, for weeds grow quickly and easily when the ground is left untended. In the same way, old patterns of fear, resentment, and limitation can creep back into the mind if you are not watchful. They must be recognized and uprooted immediately, before they grow strong enough to crowd out the good you have planted. Uprooting negative thoughts is not an act of violence, but an act of love, an act of clearing the way for beauty, abundance, and peace to flourish freely. Every image you persistently hold in your mind is a seed that has been planted. Every feeling you cherish is the water that nourishes it. Every word you speak charged with belief is sunlight shining upon the soil. Every action you take, aligned with your inner focus, strengthens the stem, the roots, the inevitable blooming of your desire. Whatever you claim mentally, Whatever you accept as true with conviction, you impress upon the subconscious mind, and through the hidden laws of consciousness, it moves into form and becomes the experience of your life. The world you see around you, the conditions you live within, the relationships you encounter, the successes or failures that follow you are not accidents, nor are they mysteries. They are the outward expressions of the inward assumptions you have claimed, either knowingly or unknowingly. Life does not respond to wishful thinking or idle desires. It responds to what you accept as fact in your inner conversations, what you affirm silently to yourself, what you feel deeply to be true. When you say within yourself, "I am successful," and you claim it, feel it, and persist in that mental atmosphere, success must come. The law of mind knows no opposition. It is simple, direct, and infallible. If, however, you claim failure, if you affirm lack, if you declare, even in the secrecy of your own thoughts, "Nothing ever works out for me," then that too must be made manifest. The creative power within you is impartial. It does not choose between good or bad, desirable or undesirable. It simply creates according to the blueprint you provide through your steady assumptions. Many people believe they are thinking positively, but deep within they still harbor beliefs of defeat, unworthiness, and limitation. They say, "I want abundance," but internally they claim, "I never have enough." They say, "I wish for health," but they constantly affirm, "My body is weak," and then they wonder why life does not yield the fruits they desire. It is not the spoken wish, but the claimed belief that the subconscious obeys. It listens not to the fleeting desires of the surface mind, but to the deep-rooted assumptions you nourish consistently within. Whatever you claim for yourself with feeling and expectancy becomes a decree to your inner self. If you persist in claiming peace, health, strength, and success, even if appearances temporarily suggest otherwise, you will find that your inner reality begins to shape your outer conditions. The subconscious mind will lead you through intuitive nudges, through unexpected opportunities, through right action, to the fulfillment of what you have claimed. The outer results will be the natural outpouring of the inner reality you have steadfastly maintained. It is not enough to think once about what you desire. It is not enough to wish and then fall back into doubt. The claim must be persistent, saturated with emotion, repeated until it becomes a natural part of your mental environment. Every great achievement, every remarkable transformation, every healing, has been preceded by the unwavering claim of the result desired. It was seen within before it was ever seen without. The man who claims wealth inwardly, with a deep sense of ownership and gratitude, will find his affairs rearranging themselves in ways he could never have predicted to bring that wealth into tangible expression. The woman who claims health, despite bodily evidence to the contrary, will feel vitality stirring within her until the body itself responds to the new pattern impressed upon it. Claim your good now, where you are, with what you have. Do not wait for circumstances to give you permission to believe in what you desire. Do not wait for outer signs to confirm what your inner knowing already whispers. The act of claiming precedes the act of receiving. The mental acceptance must come before the physical manifestation. If you claim abundance, do so even if your pockets are empty. If you claim love, do so even if loneliness sits beside you. If you claim health, do so even if pain lingers. Your subconscious does not reason based on present conditions. It responds to the reality you establish through belief. The claims you make in your inner dialogue are building the structure of your future. They are forming the invisible mold into which the substance of your life will be poured. If you do not like the current design, do not curse the results, change the claim. Begin now to speak differently within yourself. Begin now to assume the feeling of your desired state. Begin now to assert quietly, firmly, persistently, that which you choose to experience. Thought is the blueprint, but emotion is the life force that gives it shape, substance, and power. A thought by itself is like a seed lying dormant on a shelf, containing the full potential for growth, yet requiring the vitalizing energy of feeling to spring into life. The subconscious mind does not respond to cold, detached words or idle wishes. It responds to what you feel deeply, to what you charge with emotion, to what you inwardly experience as real and alive. The feelings you generate are the currents of energy that draw unseen substance toward visible form, and it is this feeling nature of man that molds the invisible world into the tangible experiences of daily life. When you think of success but feel failure, it is the feeling that the subconscious accepts. When you think of health but inwardly fear disease, it is the fear that plants the deeper seed. The subconscious mind moves under the command of emotion, not mere intellectual thought. Feeling impresses the mind more powerfully than any combination of words without conviction. This is why people often experience what they dread most. Their emotional focus on fear sends the strongest signals to the subconscious, and by the law of mind, that which is impressed must be expressed. Emotion energizes the mental image, giving it vitality, momentum, and creative force. A vision held without feeling is like a ship without wind, drifting aimlessly without direction. But when you fill your mental imagery with deep, sincere feeling, when you feel the joy of success, the gratitude of abundance, the peace of health, you propel your vision forward on the currents of life itself. You transform an abstract idea into a living pattern that the subconscious mind immediately begins to build into form. This is why heartfelt prayer moves mountains, while mechanical affirmations often fall flat. The words themselves do not possess power unless they are impregnated with feeling. It is not the mechanical repetition, but the deep emotional acceptance that pierces the layers of the subconscious and sets the creative processes into motion. You must learn to feel the reality of your desire now, in the present, without waiting for outer evidence. The feeling state is the cause, the outer condition is the effect. When you consistently combine clear thought with genuine emotion, you create a magnetic force that draws to you the conditions, the opportunities, the people, and the circumstances necessary for your desire to unfold. You are not creating out of nothing. You are directing the ever-present substance of the universe with the vibration you emanate through your feeling mind. The stronger and purer the emotional charge, the quicker and more harmonious the manifestation. If you desire abundance, then you must cultivate the feeling of abundance even when appearances suggest otherwise. Feel rich in spirit. Feel generous. Feel expansive. If you desire healing, then feel the vitality surging through your being. Feel grateful for your health. Feel the aliveness in every cell. If you desire love, then feel loving. Feel cherished. Feel connected to the infinite love that sustains all life. The feeling is the activation. It is the energy that breathes life into the thought, form, and magnetizes it into your experience. You must become an artist of feeling, painting your inner world with the colors of joy, gratitude, peace, and certainty. Even a few moments of deeply felt visualization are more powerful than hours of mechanical affirmation without heart. When your emotions align with your vision, you are in perfect harmony with the creative laws of the universe, and the invisible must eventually crystallize into the visible. Feel it real, and reality will mirror back to you the essence of your inner vibration. Attention is the key that unlocks the treasures of the subconscious mind, but only when it is steady, focused, and unwavering. A mind that is scattered, jumping from one worry to another, flitting from one desire to another, is like a beam of sunlight diffused through a fog. It lacks the power to ignite, to transform, to create. It warms, perhaps, but it does not set the heart aflame. Only disciplined attention, consistent, deliberate, lovingly persistent, has the strength to impress the subconscious mind deeply and bring forth the harvest of your innermost desires. To discipline your attention is to gather the scattered rays of your mental energy and direct them with purpose. It is to choose, moment by moment, what you will think about, what you will dwell upon, what you will magnify with the sacred light of your awareness. It is to recognize that every moment spent focusing on fear, on lack, on resentment, is a moment spent watering weeds instead of nourishing the flowers of your higher vision. The subconscious does not discriminate, it simply accepts. If you offer it conflicting seeds, hope one moment, despair the next, gratitude today, bitterness tomorrow, it responds with confusion, and the fruits you reap will be equally confused. A disciplined mind is not a rigid mind. It is not a mind that fights itself or denies its feelings. It is a mind that gently, persistently returns to the chosen path whenever it strays. Like a shepherd guiding his flock, the wise student of life brings his thoughts back, again and again, to the green pastures of his desired state. He does not panic when doubts arise, nor does he condemn himself when old habits try to reclaim their ground. He simply notices, forgives, and redirects. Again and again, patiently, faithfully, until the new pattern is firmly established. There is tremendous power in the consistent repetition of focused thought. Every time you affirm your good, every time you visualize your desired outcome with feeling, every time you return your attention to your highest ideal, you deepen the groove in the subconscious mind. You carve a new path in the hidden landscape of your consciousness. At first it may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, but with practice, it becomes the new natural way of being. What once required effort becomes effortless. What once felt foreign becomes home. The mind left undisciplined is like a garden left untended. Weeds of fear, resentment, doubt, and confusion grow quickly when vigilance is lacking. The world around you, filled with noise, fear, and distraction, constantly invites you to scatter your attention, to react to every disturbance, to chase after every glittering distraction. But you must be wiser than the world. You must be sovereign within yourself. You must recognize that your attention is your most precious resource, and you must guard it with care, just as a wise gardener protects her tender seedlings from trampling feet. Discipline of attention does not mean suppression, it means direction. It means choosing again and again to turn away from what you do not wish to magnify and toward what you wish to bring forth. It means understanding that where your focus goes, your energy flows, and where your energy flows, your life grows. It means refusing to be hypnotized by appearances, refusing to be imprisoned by circumstances, refusing to be led astray by the fleeting winds of doubt and fear. When you discipline your attention, you align yourself with the creative laws of the universe. You become like a laser beam, cutting through obstacles, dissolving resistance, lighting the way ahead with the power of focused consciousness. You no longer drift aimlessly, tossed by every passing wave. You set your course, and you sail with purpose. You become the deliberate builder of your destiny, the conscious gardener of your soul, the master of your fate. The reality you experience day by day is not shaped by what you see, but by what you believe to be true deep within yourself. It is not the appearances of life that determine your destiny. It is the inner convictions you hold with feeling and persistence that form the mold into which life must pour its expression. Many look to the outer world for validation, waiting for circumstances to change before they dare to believe in the good they desire. They do not realize that the outer world is but a reflection, a mirror showing back to them the sum of their habitual thoughts and feelings impressed upon the subconscious mind. Outer appearances are often deceptive. They show the past results of former beliefs, former convictions, former emotions. They do not reveal the invisible seeds currently germinating beneath the surface. To judge by appearances is to lock yourself into the old patterns, to keep creating the same cycles of limitation and disappointment. But to hold steadfast to your inner conviction, regardless of what the senses tell you, is to plant new seeds, seeds that must in time break through the soil of experience and blossom into visible form. When you accept within yourself the conviction that you are abundant, even if your bank account is empty, you set into motion unseen forces that begin to arrange circumstances in your favor. When you claim health within your mind, even while symptoms persist, you send healing vibrations into every cell of your body, and restoration begins its silent work. When you affirm love within your heart, even if loneliness surrounds you, you become magnetic to relationships that resonate with your new vibration. The change always happens first within, unseen, unfelt by the senses, but real and powerful beyond measure. You are not a creature of circumstance unless you choose to be. You are a creator of circumstance. You are not at the mercy of what is, you are the architect of what shall be. When you recognize this truth and begin to live by it, you cease being a victim of life and become its master. You realize that appearances are only temporary reflections of previous inner states, and that by changing your inner state, you inevitably change what is reflected back to you. The subconscious mind, obedient and impersonal, always takes its cues from your dominant convictions, not from your occasional wishes or fleeting hopes. It listens to the feeling beneath the words, the belief beneath the thought, the inner certainty or doubt that colors your emotional atmosphere. If your inner conviction is strong, unwavering, and saturated with feeling, the subconscious accepts it as law and moves swiftly to translate it into your external world. If your inner conviction is weak, confused, or filled with contradictory emotions, the results in your outer life will be equally inconsistent. It is a law, simple and sure, that the inner world of belief precedes the outer world of form. The wise student of life understands this and refuses to be disheartened by appearances that contradict his desires. He knows that outer results lag behind inner convictions, just as the harvest lags behind the planting. He understands that by maintaining his focus on the desired end, by living inwardly in the feeling of the fulfilled wish, he is shaping reality according to his highest ideals. Do not wait for the outer world to give you permission to believe. Do not say, "When I see it, I will believe it." Rather say, "Because I believe it, I will see it." Choose to live from the conviction of your desired reality now, regardless of appearances. Speak, think, and act from the consciousness of your fulfilled desire. Walk, breathe, and move in the assumption that what you have claimed within is already yours in the invisible and must soon be yours in the visible. Feel the truth of your good so deeply that the outer world has no choice but to reflect it back to you in perfect time and perfect form. Repetition is the golden key that unlocks the gates of the subconscious mind. Every truth you wish to embody, every belief you desire to root deeply within yourself, every dream you long to make real must be repeated, nourished, impressed again and again until it sinks beyond the surface of thought and becomes a living conviction. It is through repetition that the subconscious is educated, that faith is built, and that destiny is shaped. A single affirmation, no matter how positive, rarely has the power to transform a lifetime of contrary belief. But repeated affirmations, soaked with feeling and persistence, carve new pathways in consciousness and rewire the patterns that have long governed your life. Every thought you hold persistently becomes part of the mental atmosphere you carry with you. If you repeat thoughts of health, abundance, peace, and love with sincerity and emotional conviction, they eventually take root and flourish. If you repeatedly dwell on fears, resentments, doubts, and failures, those too will deepen and harden into habitual patterns. The subconscious mind is not swayed by the eloquence of a single moment of inspiration. It is molded by the steady rhythm of repeated impressions. Just as water, soft and yielding, can carve great canyons through sheer persistence, so too can your repeated thoughts reshape the deepest structures of your life. Faith is not built by chance. Faith is constructed deliberately through repetition. Every time you affirm your good, despite appearances, you drive the stake of faith deeper into the bedrock of your being. Every time you visualize your desired outcome with clarity and feeling, you strengthen the inner image until it becomes more real to you than the evidence of your senses. Faith is not blind. It is the inner vision that sees beyond the temporary shadows of circumstance and knows the eternal truth of your own creative power. It is the steady hand that holds the vision unwaveringly until reality bends to meet it. In the beginning, the repetition of new ideas may feel mechanical, even false. Old beliefs may protest, doubts may arise. The mind, long accustomed to other patterns, may resist the new planting. But persist gently, persist lovingly. Every repetition is a new seed sown, a new thread woven into the fabric of your destiny. Over time, what once felt foreign becomes familiar. What once felt forced becomes natural. What once seemed unbelievable becomes the quiet, background certainty from which you live and move and have your being. The great secret is that you are always building faith in something. If you repeatedly affirm lack, you build faith in limitation. If you repeatedly affirm fear, you build faith in danger. If you repeatedly affirm struggle, you build faith in hardship. But you have the power, the sacred privilege, to choose what you will build faith in. You can choose to build faith in abundance, faith in health, faith in love, faith in your own divine power to shape your destiny. Every great achievement, every lasting transformation, every profound healing has been preceded by an invisible process of repetition and faith. The inventor sees the finished machine in his mind long before it stands in steel and motion. The artist beholds the completed masterpiece inwardly before a brush touches canvas. The healer knows the patient whole and vibrant even while symptoms linger. They repeat their inner vision over and over, day after day, until the outer world surrenders to the inner certainty. Repetition impresses the subconscious. Faith releases its creative power. Together, they move mountains, heal broken bodies, lift souls from despair to glory. Together, they shape destiny according to the highest patterns of beauty, goodness, and truth. You need not force belief. You need only repeat the truth you wish to embody, gently, persistently, lovingly, until it becomes the song of your heart and the light of your life.